Kimchi and Wild Horses by Sarah Song in August 2021. Why are some foods addictive? When highly palatable foods, such as sweet ice cream or snacks like Oreo, touch the tip of your tongue, they trigger the pleasure centers of the brain, which releases feel-good chemicals, such as dopamine and serotonin. Obesity is a major social problem in the United States, and many medical studies have been published about the causes and symptoms of food addiction. Examples of the most addictive foods in the U.S. include pizza, chocolate, packaged snacks, ice cream, and soda. However, no matter how long I've lived in the U.S., kimchi is the most addictive food for a Korean like me. Addiction to kimchi is not limited to Koreans. All fermented foods, such as kimchi, are said to be quite addictive. According to Ole Muritzen, a professor of biophysics at Copenhagen University in Denmark, taste involves all five senses. The processing centers in our brain for taste and odor are in the same area, and fermented foods can be all the more addictive for that reason. Out of many fermented foods, kimchi is notorious for its distinctively foul smell. My memory of kimchi begins with my childhood in Korea. I remember drooling while sitting next to my mom, who would be making kimchi until late at night. My mom used to take the most tender part of the cabbage, mix it with the seasoning, and roll a piece of fresh kimchi for me. Then, I would open up my mouth like a baby bird in a nest, expectantly waiting for mom to feed me. Another memory I have is when I made kimchi for the first time in my life after I came to the US in 1999, since there were no Korean markets nearby where I settled in Texas. With a Napa cabbage I bought at an American grocery store and red chili powder my mom sent from Korea, I made mac kimchi. Compared to the traditional cabbage kimchi, called pogi kimchi, that stacks up halved cabbages after seasoning for consistent fermenting and a more savory taste, mac kimchi is made with cabbages cut into small pieces before seasoning. It is easier to make and takes less time to ferment. However, its taste is not as savory as pogi kimchi. Once my husband had tasted my mac kimchi, he said, "I'll try to find a Korean market where we can buy a jar of kimchi." My most humorous moment involving kimchi was when I went camping in the summer of 2008. When my kids were little, we enjoyed taking camping trips with a pop-up camper. Every summer we went to Assateague Island in Maryland, where fine sandy beaches stretch out right in front of the camping site. As a national wildlife refuge, animals such as wild horses and deer roam around on the beach and birds fly around against the blue ocean and sky. In addition, we could catch clams or crabs in swamps inside the park and fish in the sea. If we were lucky, we could catch summer flounders and make sashimi and spicy fish soup at the campsite. That summer, we went there with a few families who had children of ages similar to mine. Since we were all Koreans, we packed Korean foods, such as bulgogi, kimchi and seasoning for spicy fish soup in 2 large ice boxes, along with snacks like family-sized shrimp crackers. We piled up snacks on a big table in front of the 2 camping sites, put the ice boxes under the table, and rushed out to the beach. Running across the beach under the scorching sun, we jumped into the water as if being sucked in. After playing tirelessly on the beach, we came back to the campsite and had a late lunch with bulgogi, lettuce, and side dishes on the table. After lunch, the dads went to the sea to fish, and the kids and moms stayed inside the camper. The kids were relaxing in bed, and the moms were sitting in chairs chatting. Suddenly, the kids screamed, "Mom, horses are trying to eat our food." 2 big, brown wild horses were standing next to the table stacked with our food. First, the bigger one pushed a plastic bag containing leftover vegetables off the table and started eating the vegetables that were sticking out. After putting its nose in a plastic bag and taking out all the vegetables, it pushed the large family-sized shrimp snack off the table with its nose again. Then, it pressed the snack bag with 1 foot. All the shrimp crackers popped out like popcorn and the horses ate it all. After finishing all the shrimp crackers, they kicked the ice boxes standing next to the table. One collapsed sideways and its door opened up. As the bag of kimchi that was on the top of the box fell off, the bigger horse stepped on the kimchi bag and the kimchi burst out. The bulging, red chili juicy seasoning of kimchi colored the sandy beach, sparkling in the sun. And then the horses had kimchi. Wow, horses eat kimchi! The kids shouted in awe. I was staring at them, frightened to death, worrying that the two big, wild horses might come into our camper after finishing our food. The moms kept calling the dads to save us, but none of them answered. We hollered for help as the park patrol, driving a car like a golf cart, passed by. The patrol saw the scene and scolded us. This is a wildlife refuge where animals and people stay together. How can you leave human food out like this? Horses are not aggressive animals, so once they're done eating, they'll leave without causing any trouble. Then, after offering no help, the park patrol just left. After finishing the entire bag of kimchi that we were supposed to eat for the next 3 days, they even licked the spicy red chili seasoning that had spilled on the ground. Oh, my! They're even eating the kimchi juice. They seem to be addicted to kimchi, perhaps from previous Korean visitors here. The two horses started moving away slowly, maybe because of the fiery taste of the kimchi, or because they were full. As the horses drifted further away, we breathed with relief and chatted. Although addiction is bad, kimchi addiction is okay, since kimchi is good for their health, isn't it? One mom said. Kimchi will help them increase good bacteria in their stomach and strengthen their immune system, another chimed in. On a hot summer day like today, the wild horses that took all of our kimchi come to my mind. It's mid-August, one of the dog days of summer, called malbok in Korean. Every day, it's relentlessly sunny with scorching heat. What should I make for lunch? Cold noodles with radish water kimchi, cucumber kimchi, or fried rice with cabbage kimchi?